Okay. Good evening. Let me know if you can hear my voice loud and clear. Is my voice audible loud and clear? Yes, no. Let me see where all I am live. Okay. LinkedIn also, I think it's streaming. Let me see. Okay. I'm live on LinkedIn too. Great. Okay. See here. Okay. Take care, Vivek. Let's wait for 5 more minutes. Okay. Let's wait for 3, 4 minutes for folks to join and then we'll begin. Today's class is really, really important from Snowflake and from your company point of view. Okay. So good evening, everyone. Welcome back again to Analytics with Anand. So this will be your lecture number 47 of Master Blaster SQL on Snowflake. Now, today's lecture is one of the most important from data engineering point of view, not from data analytics point of view, because data analytics, the thing which I'm teaching you today is not from data analytics point of view, from data engineering point of view, because this is really, really important. Any data engineering field, right? Be it your senior data engineer or be it your architect, the things which I'm gonna do it, I have already implemented while working at Unilever, while working at EXL Service, while working at Coforge, and while working at Tiger Analytics also in my current company. Also, I have implemented this. So what is this lecture all about? This lecture is all about your slowly changing dimension type 2, specifically how you can keep track record of all the historical loads, right, and the current record also. Say for example, an employee database, an employee address has been changed over a period of time. That's why the word slow is there. Okay, employee address has been changed. So how you will keep a track of all the old records and how you will keep track of all the new records, that is what SCD type 2 talks about. Then what is SCD type 1? SCD type 1, you just replace old records with new records. Basically, you are doing truncate and delete. That is straightforward. You truncate the table and you load the table itself. Wherever new records come, it just overrides the old record. Right? Sorry. So that is type 1. In this analysis, we will be doing type 2 of Snowflake series, where we will keep all the old records also and all the new records also. The beautiful example in order to understand is Swiggy and Zomato. So every day you place an order, right? Suppose today morning I have placed something, I placed an order for a breakfast. Afternoon I have placed an order for say biryani. Evening also I paid an order for tea or something. And night also I'm placing an order from Swiggy and Zomato. So 4 times I have placed the order. So whichever is the latest that we will mark as active, and whichever is the previous 3 that will mark as inactive. That means if Anand has placed 4 orders in a day, the latest order will mark as active and all the previous order will mark as inactive. So that we are marking it with the help of one column called is current. We'll take one flag called column is current and we'll mark as true and false. True means active records, false means old records. So all those historical records will be marked as false and all their active records will be marked as true. Not only my address, if there is a change in my last name, if there's a change in my age, if there's a change in my company, or if there's change in anything, right, it will track and it will mark as active or passive records, right? Whichever is the current record, that will be marked as true, and whichever is the historical records, that will be marked as false. Very, very important. Straight away production level code I'm giving you. It's not a hobby project. So far, you won't find this video anywhere in the world, not on YouTube. Many people have done SCD2. That's just a crap, I'm telling you. Just a crap. That's not a production level code. That's not how you write it in the company. You will write this entire code in stored procedure. Lecture number 32, already I have discussed what all stored procedure and task is. Those who are very good with SQL, those who are very good with Python's concept, those who are very good with stored procedure concept, they need not refer this video any down the time. They can straight away go to the code and they can straight away execute it. Okay, they can straight away execute it. That's how. So before wasting any time, let's go started. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, go ahead and subscribe. We have reached 31,000 subscribers so far. I tried myself to be active here, but 1 or 2 weeks here and there, it goes on and off because I have work, I have my PhD at IIT Bombay. So many things are going on. But whatever I teach you here at Snowflake, it's my own creation. It's not ChatGPT copy paste. Don't think of that thing. Right? It's not ChatGPT copy paste, the real code which you will implement in the industry. The same code template, you can keep it while going in any company. Same code, you can use it. Only what you will do, your table name will change, your schema will change, your column name will change, right? Right. And whenever you run this, any of your pipeline, we will be also maintaining an audit log. All these logs will be maintaining. Wherever every time your pipeline runs, that logger file will get created. Also, if there's any failure in the pipeline, right, any failure in the pipeline due to some XYZ reason, you will get a real time an email. That's also we're gonna see it straight away. So end-to-end implementation with logger, with alerts, everything. So let me share back my screen quickly. Yeah. So before we got started, so new batch again, we are starting from this week onwards. Be it data analytics, data engineering, everything, any course which you see it here live, we are starting it from this Saturday, Sunday onward. So if you are planning to transition into data analytics, reach out to me directly. There's no sales team here. You have my number, you have my email ID. You can reach out to me anytime, or you can comment on this video with your phone number, and I'll be happy to help you out. Okay. Now in the YouTube link, if you see it, I have already mentioned the resource link for the session which I'm taking today. This is lecture number 47. If you go here, lecture number 47, SCD Type 2, entire code, entire the CSV file which we're gonna ingest in AWS S3, everything has been shared with you. Everything has been shared with you. Let's understand what SCD Type 2 is before delving down deep into the picture. So I'll open this .md file. I have created it for you, right? So what here we'll be doing, here we will be creating a fully automated production grade, slowly changing dimension. I'm explaining you with respect to one table. And at the end, I will run a code for 10 table also. And that will be a project which I'm leaving it to you. Okay, which I'm leaving to you too. I'll go a bit fast, okay, because code is there, everything is there. You should not get any error while implementing this. Not a single syntax error or runtime error you should get. If you are getting any error, comment on this video later down the line. Okay, so this project will implement a fully automated production grade, slowly changing dimension process in Snowflake using a JavaScript stored procedure. Using a JavaScript stored procedure, there is no ETL tool involved. It's a hardcore code which is written inside the Snowflake environment, right? Hard code. I'm explaining you with just one table, employee. So if there's any change in the employee attributes, like name of the employee, email number, phone number, address, company, or experience, it will trigger. Your pipeline will trigger in such a way that if the new records come for the same employee, right? Suppose name has not changed, email has not changed, phone has not changed, address has changed. Then what will do? Old address will be marked as false and new address will be marked as true under the is current column. We'll take one column called is current and we'll mark it, right? And it will maintain both current and historical records in the curated layer. The final layer, I'm talking about the curated layer. So where the data coming from? Every lecture number 34, 35, 39, 40, 41, 42, everywhere we are ingesting the data from your AWS S3. right? So AWS S3, we will create a bucket. There will be a folder. Data sets will be coming in the batch process. Okay, I have already given you the code batch 1, batch 2, batch 3. If you see it here, batch 1, batch 2, batch 3, do not upload all three of them together. Just hear me out in this lecture video and you can practice it later. Okay, so what I'll do, so all this batch will come in person. Batch 1 will come, batch 2 will come, batch 3 will come, and accordingly your stored procedure will get triggered. So this is designed for real-time ingestion from S3 with the help of Snowpipe, and it will get ingested into your target Snowflake data warehouse in the form of table with complete data lineage, audit login, and email alerts on job failure. Right? On job failure. So let me first talk about what SCD 2 is all about. This is just about the overall project structure. Now, slowly changing dimension. What is SCD2? I have not covered in any of my YouTube video SCD0, SCD1, 2, 3, 4, because so far in the industry, SCD1 and 2 is the most hot favorite. And this is a short question for any senior level data engineering role. If you are going for a data engineer, definitely they will ask you, what is slowly changing dimension, Anand? What do you all about? Why do we do it? What will happen if we do it? What will happen if we don't do it? Everything I will answer in this. So it's a data management technique used in data warehouse to track and preserve historical changes. The old record will be marked as is current is equals to false, right? Because old record is not a current record with an end date. Because the moment your address has been changed, your old record has marked as false. And what will be the end date? We will mark with an end date. That the day where it is ending it. And the new record will be marked as is current equals to true with a start date. If I'm updating my address today, so I will have a start date. I won't have an end date. End date will be null for me. Understand this? Because I don't know when my address will change further. Right? So wherever is the active records, start date will be today's date. You can assume end date can be anything. It can be null because we have not marked. But for previous one, the old records, historical records will be marked as is current equals to false, and that will have an end date when that address has been changed. So whenever there is change in business entity like an employee address or customer role, instead of replacing the old value, the system creates a new record and marks the old one is active. Entire thing is there in lecture number 47. You do not have to worry. Entire document, everything I share it. Okay. Now, why SCD2 is important for business? For historical accuracy. It enables point in time reporting which was true on a specific date. I can write it. Select star from table where is current is equals to false. What was the historical records? Where the is current flag is false. Audit and compliance. It will maintain data lineage for legal and regulatory audits. When the data has been changed, when the new record has been ingested, all those things you can see it. Then accurate reporting, it prevents wrong joins between fact and dimension tables. Now in our analysis, we are dealing with the dimension table, employee dimension. And at the end, I will also run a code for fact dimension also. Then it will help us for trend analysis. It will help you to understand how customer, employee, or products changes over time. And it will also help you to do RCA. Many a times your manager will tell, Anand, have you done RCA? Identify what data changes cause shift in performance metrics. So in short, SCD Type 2 is about trust, traceability, and transparency in analytics. This should be your answer when anyone asks you in interview. How company implements? So there are multiple ways. Many companies implement the best approach. Many companies go is with the help of stored procedure. Now, stored procedure, if you know, any dynamic code, any dynamic SQL code or JavaScript code or Python's code or Scala code, you can write stored procedure in all these languages Snowflake supports, right? So what will happen? So the moment any new batch of data arrive in your source, which can be AWS S3, Google Cloud, or Azure Blob Storage, the Snowpipe will automatically load this file into a staging table. We all know auto ingest equals to true features helps in, right? Then a JavaScript stored procedure will run. It will identify, it will do deduplication. Remember this word after today's class. Deduplication. That is the latest record per ID. It can be your employee ID or anything. It will identify the latest record. How do you identify latest record, guys? Window function. You can use row number. You can use rank. You can use dense rank, all these things. Now we will enable detection using hashing. The most widely used hashing technique which is used in industries is MD5. Read about MD5. I want you to read about MD5 and comment in the section later down the line. What is MD5 and why do we use it? I have used in our project MD5 hashing technique. So basically, it's a composite primary key, which you can say combination of 3-4 columns. You will combine it and you will create a unique hash key. That hash key you will compare. That hash key you will compare, and it is much faster, and it's a very beautiful hashing techniques which is widely used across the industry. Okay, in order to detect changes. Now, whenever your old records get expired, that is historical record, that we are calling it is current is equals to false. And whenever your new record gets inserted, that we are calling it is current equals to true. Then we are having audit logging and email notification. This by default, every stakeholder will ask you, log the details whenever the new data is coming up, and also Anand, send me an email if there's a pipeline failure, if there's any change. Now, we all know we can schedule this with the help of task. So task, I can schedule it with the help of cron expression. Cron expression will trigger, will call the stored procedure. Inside the stored procedure, my dynamic SQL piece of code is written, which will run automatically every hour based on the cron expression which you have written it. So this will create a fully automated, auditable, and scalable SCD pipeline. Now, when you write this stored procedure, the most favorite question, why do we write it in JavaScript? Why can't we write in SQL? Why can't we write in Scala? Why can't we write Python? You can write it, but hot favorite, the things which we use in the industry for the production grade level, we use JavaScript. Although you can write in SQL, Python, Scala, JavaScript is the industry favorite for production grade pipeline. Anything which I teach you at Analytics with Anand, it's not a hobby project. Again, I'm telling you, it's straight from my experience, what I have felt, what I have learned from my manager, and what I have implemented. Right? I have seen multiple SCD Type 2 on YouTube. I feel pity that are very basic. What the hell you guys are teaching? Right? Merely teaching ABCD won't help. Teach how to write production level code, how to write that code in company. Okay, that's what I'm here for. So, what is the benefit of using JavaScript in Snowflake? They can ask you in interview, why Anand you have chosen JavaScript, why you have not used SQL, Python, or Scala, although Snowflake supports it? Because SQL alone cannot handle loops, variables, or advanced error handling. Any piece of code which you write inside try catch block. JavaScript enables this while executing seamlessly. JavaScript supports this. Next, runs natively inside Snowflake. JavaScript stored procedure execute within Snowflake. No external runtime, no latency, no setup complexity. You don't have to run externally runtime. There's no latency. Instant it will come. No setup complexity. Second, third, advanced error handling and logging. Try catch block. Right? Try catch block lets you capture and store detailed error message in audit table or send email alerts. Dynamic logic. You can build SQL dynamically, loop through tables, and run multi-step workflows easily in JavaScript. Last, cost effective and secure. The hot favorite answer is no external compute needed. There's no another resource needed. RAM is required like AWS Lambda or Databricks. Everything stays inside Snowflake secure compute engine. That's why it is hot favorite to use JavaScript in Snowflake. Why not just SQL, Python, or Scala? SQL is great for data manipulation, lacks procedural control and error handling. Python, good for ML and complex transformation, but it requires additional setup. We all know. You have to connect with the Snowflake and then blah, blah, blah. All those things will happen. Compute resources. Scala, highly scalable for pros, but runs outside Snowflake's operational heavy. Then JavaScript, native, procedural, lightweight, best for orchestration, and hell logic heavy ETL inside Snowflake. That's why, which is the most favorite in industry? JavaScript. That means JavaScript strikes the perfect balance, SQL expressiveness plus full procedural power directly inside Snowflake. Now you'll say, Anand, you have not taught us JavaScript. How will not know? It's a very easy. I'm teaching you right away today itself. I'll teach you right away today itself. Very easy. Don't worry. So, what is the example? Let's understand type 2. Say, for example, John Doe is an employee. His employee ID is E54337. Right? His email is same. Name is same. Employee ID is same. Address has been changed. Address has been changed. So, old address start date you see 1st January. And end date you see 1st what? 1st March. Right? Now, your 1st March was end date. 1st March end date means that the new address has come. So, your start date of new address will become end date of old address. Start date of your new address will become end date of your new address. What will be the end date for new address? Nothing, because I don't know when my address will change further. That's why I have marked as end date is null. So wherever end date is null, other way of saying, can I say, Anand, wherever end date is null, that will be a new address? Yes, that also we can say. So is current, I will take one column called is current old address. I will mark as false. It will have a start date. It will have an end date. And the new date I will mark as what? Is current as true. The system automatically detects the change in address, expires the old record, and inserts a new record one without overwriting history. We are not overwriting, else we will get only one record. Here, for every employee ID, you will get 2 records that you will see it live. So SCD type 2 ensure you never lose historical data. You never lose historical data. It is critical for audit, compliance, and reliable analytics. Snowflake provides a perfect environment for scalable automated SCD procedures, and JavaScript, we all know, are preferred because they combine SQL flexibility, procedural control, and native execution. Right? So let's go and build enterprise-grade auditable and automation-friendly history tracking. Okay. Let me talk about the architecture of the project quickly. Everything is here. I'm reading from here itself. Okay. I'm reading from here itself. Yes. So how will detect the change, Anand? How you're detecting the change? So we will use MD5 function. We will use a very, very important hashing technique called MD5, which will be a combination of column. I'll show you how MD5 you can frame it. I'll show you quickly. Just have a look. Have a look and feel. Yeah. Just MD5, I will show you how does it look. Do you see this? MD5. Inside MD5, what I have taken? Employee name, email, phone number, address, company name, experience, and I am calling as a source hash because MD5 will generate a unique hash key number. Like alphanumeric number it will create, right? The best technique. That's why I told you. Production level code. We use MD5 hashing. It's a very, very versatile. Read about MD5 function. Go on ChatGPT. Ask what is MD5 and why it is used across the industry. Okay, MD5 function, the hot favorite hashing technique. Okay, hashing technique. This is what I'm using it here to detect any data change. And anytime, suppose my email ID is analytics with anand@gmail.com. If I keep W capital, is my email ID is changed? No, my email ID is not getting changed. Only the letter has become capitalized. So whenever you are dealing with string data, guys, remember one thing. Always, nobody will tell you. I'm telling you, always take a lower function. Whether or not, nobody will tell you this. Whenever you are handling with string data, please take a lower function. Please convert it to a lower. Otherwise, things will go wrong. Anand might be written with A capital, N capital. Anand might be written in all small letter. Anand might be written with D capital. Always take lower and use a trim function. This is the same code which I have written in the company. Lower, trim, lower, trim, lower, trim. Make it all the lower if you are taking a string data. Okay, that. Correct? Now, in the previous session, what I have taken? Automatic schema. Right? Healing. That means if there is evaluation in the schema, say for example, you have employee ID, employee name, address, salary and experience. There is no age column. The moment batch 4 data came, client has added an age column. So will your pipeline fail? No. So what we'll do, we will utilize the concept of schema evolution also. Here what I'll do, in the stage, I will add 2 things. Source file and ingested at. From which source file, Anand, that data is coming it, and what time the ingested at come. And in the final layer, we will create one batch ID, I will tell you, and the source hash. Source hash just now I have explained you. Source hash we are creating with the help of MD5. Then we will talk about deduplication. Again, deduplication. If I have placed 4 order on Swiggy, what you will do? Latest one. How do you take a latest? Source file descending, which was the latest order ingested at descending. So in today's time, suppose I am ordering 4 times from Swiggy and Zomato. I will sort it in descending order. So whichever is the first one, that I will have the row number 1. Right? Every day, I am only taking 1 record. So row number should be equals to 1. If your client says, and every day, if the customer is placing multiple order, take the latest 2. What you will do? Less than equals to 2. Rank should be less than equals to 2. If the client says, Anand, if the customer is making 10 transactions every day, for every day, you should always take the latest 3 transactions. Rank less than equals to 3. Same thing you have to write. Use the qualify and then write less than equals to 3. Right? That's the only thing in my code you have to do the changes. Then I have audit and monitoring. Log, I'm creating a pipeline job log for all the pipeline. I'll show you what does pipeline logs, how does it looks like, so that you get a complete picture. So this is the audit table. If you see, yeah, this is how your audit tables looks like. Every time you are running a stored procedure, what time it ran, which was the success, which was the flow, how many rows has been processed, how many rows got inserted, how many rows, Anand, you have updated, what was the error message, right? And what are the details? All this information, what was the runtime? I'm logging it every time my stored procedure is running. Got my point? This is mandatory. Every company will ask you to log those details whenever your pipeline is running, successful and failure, and you will log into your audit table in the curated layer, whichever layer your company uses. Okay, correct. Then we have recipient list, audit.email recipient. This will contain the list of all the email ID to which you wanted to show your pipeline failure notification. Let me show you. Let me show you how does it look. If the pipeline fail, what kind of notification you get it. I'll show you. Where is it? Yeah, see this. This is how instant notification you will get. SCD2 job failed, SQL compilation error, line 1 at position 46. So the Monday morning you come and see, you see a lot of this email flourishing. Now you should only get email when? You should only get email when your pipeline gets failure. Success, nobody wants. Otherwise your email is flooded. So you should only get an email when there's a failure in the job. When there's a failure in the job, okay? When there's a failure in the job. Compilation error, invalid identifier, it will also talk about which pipeline, which job has been failed. Check audit, it also says, check audit.pipeline job log for details. Exact same thing we have written, I have written in every company. Immediately Monday morning, I used to wake up, I used to get a lot of lists, and my manager used to tell me, Anand, just create a summary of all this report. No need to create a summary. Already things are there in the audit log pipeline. This is just a failure. If the job gets failed, it is already getting logged in. I don't have to do anything. I just automated this entire process. There's no ETL tool involved. Let me tell you, with ETL tool, things are different, right? This is a hard code Snowflake development. Hard code Snowflake development. Okay, so you are getting the complete picture. And full idle potent, safe to rerun, ignore duplicates and re-engine of same. What will happen, Anand, if the same record gets ingested? Nothing. It will just ignore, because those are duplicate records. I'm handling deduplication already. What is the table structure? So we'll create one raw employee table in the staging schema, okay, which will have employee ID, employee name, email, phone number, address, company name, experience. This file will come from where? This file will come from CSV. Let me duplicate this tab. This file will come from CSV. Source file and ingested at, how I'm getting it? Source file and ingested at, I am getting it from your metadata. Source file I am getting from your metadata file name. Source file I am getting it from the metadata file name, and ingested at I am taking at current timestamp. Rest I am reading it from the CSV. Rest I am reading it from the CSV. If you see it here, I can show you. There is no, if I talk about batch1.csv, there is no ingested at column. Do you see? Only 7 columns are there. Employee ID, employee name, email, phone number, address, company name, experience. Only 7 columns, right? Only 7 columns. These 2 columns, I'm taking it from where? From your metadata, right? From your metadata. Always keep these 2. Ingested at what time your pipeline data is coming into the picture, batch 1, batch 2, what time you are getting ingested, and which is the source file from which it is coming. Now, this is the staging table as it is. Now, we will have a final table called curated.employee name in the curated layer, right? Where we'll have employee name, email, phone number, address, company name, experience, start date. Start by date, default I'm taking as a current date. End date I'm taking as a date, because end date will be null if it is an active record, and end date will have some value if it is a what? If it is your old records. Is current, boolean, I'm planning tree. Anytime if records are coming in, you went to a market to buy vegetables, there's no vegetables in the house. What is the default value? That's the current one. That's the current one. Is current is equals to 2. Then I'm also having the source hash key using MD5 function and the batch ID. Look at the difference between these 2 and these 2 table. This is the raw table. Whenever the data you are getting ingested from your Snowflake AWS S3, always create one raw table, raw employee in the staging layer. And then in the curated layer, I have this. Next, what we'll have? Next, I'm creating audit table for your pipeline job log, which will have your job ID. Just now you saw job name, file name, status, details, and run height. I'm having a default current timestamp when you're pipeline, when you're calling the stored procedure. Next, I'm having your error log. Anytime your pipeline gets failed, only the error should logged in. Where I have a file name, error details, and created at what time the error. So error separately, pipeline separately. This is just for my purpose. Your company may or may not have it. Your company may have only one audit table, which is pipeline job log. Okay. Last one is the email recipient. Suppose anytime pipeline gets failed, your manager, your senior data engineer, and architect, 3 people wants to get notified. Sorry. And then in that case, I will have a recipient name and the email. Right. So this is what the structure of this. Let me create first the structure for you. Okay. Let's start from the S3 bucket. So I'm creating a bucket called SCD Type2 demo bucket in my AWS S3. Right. Inside that, I have created a folder called batches, daily batches. Right. I will insert the batch one. Batch one, I'm inserting it. Let's keep it like that. Okay. Let's come here. Let's create one warehouse. First of all, let's create one warehouse, WH_ETL. I'll zoom further for you all so that it's clearly visible. Right. Then I'm creating a database, demo SCD2. Here the warehouse size I'm taking is medium. Auto suspend I'm taking 60 seconds. And auto resume I'm taking true. Okay, after 60 seconds, it will get suspended and automatically it will get resumed if the new query comes in. And initially suspended, as we all know, initially the warehouse is in the suspended state. Okay, so let's create this. Let's create a database called demo SCD2. Let's create a database called demo SCD2 and let's use that. Now, I will be creating a 4 schema: raw, staging, curated, and audit. And we know what these schemas are meant for. Raw for the raw layer, staging for the staging layer, curated is the final layer, audit is for the audit purpose. Okay, audit is the audit purpose. Now, we are creating one storage integration. We all know, lecture number 34, right? With the help of AWS S3. I have already created a role. I have already created a policy. So first of all, in your AWS, you have to go back to the policy. I have given already the policy. You need to create one policy which will tell the users or which will check at the backend whether that particular role has the right set of privileges in order to access. Just take my JSON file. Already this JSON has been shared with you. If you see here, JSON file I have given you. Quick byte policy, SCD Type2 policy JSON. Just copy and just go to your policy details. Go to the JSON and click on edit and paste it. Only thing you need to do it, you need to update with your AWS bucket, whichever you have renamed it. Just update this. Rest, do not tamper any piece of code. What we are doing, we are getting the object, listing the object, and we are putting the object in the S3. Same thing, right? Once you have done this, what you have to do? Go back to the role. Go back to the role. Role already I have created and attach this policy. How do you attach the policy? Those who does not know this process, lecture number 34 from my Snowflake page. Attach the policy. Just attach that policy. So I have attached that already policy, right? Give the role, copy the role ARN as it is. Copy the S3 URL till the root folder. S3 bucket you should copy till your this one. Till where? Till your root folder. Daily data batches. So till your root folder, copy it. Right? And then let's run this. Sorry, my bad. Let's create this in the raw layer. Yeah. Now you should describe it. You will get AWS ARN number, right? You'll get this ARN number 5. Copy this and update your trust relationship. Otherwise, you will get 500 error. Invalid authentication. User does not have access to S3 bucket. So you have to copy this ARN and paste it here. Where? In your role. Where is my role? Go to the trust relationship. Do the edit trust relations policy. You'll find something here. The number, paste it directly. Paste it directly. You see, already I pasted it. Otherwise, you will get authentication error. Otherwise, you will get authentication error. I have already done it. Paste it. Because proper communication won't happen if you don't do this. Next, what we'll do once this is done, next we are creating a CSV format. CSV format, raw.csv format, type is CSV because the data which will be coming from AWS S3 is in the form of CSV. Let's create that. Once you have created, now we are creating a stage where we are passing the storage integration name and the URL, which from which folder we are passing and the file format. Let's run this.
Once this is done, now the most important part is we are creating from the schema evolution lecture number 46. We are creating in the staging raw employee table. From where? We are creating from using infer schema. So the moment batch 1 CSV, can I also create a table from batch 2? Yes. Whichever schema you want to keep a tag, it will scan like an X-ray. Batch 1 is there, it will scan like an X-ray and it will get the DDL for you. Right? Automatically, it will create a schema for you. Look at the magic. Those who does not know how schema evolution works, lecture number 46. Everything is there. So let's go refresh this. SCD demo. Come back to the staging, table, raw employee, and your table gets created. Now you may ask question. Data is not there. You may ask question, why C1, C2, C3, Anand? Where is the header gone? Because I have done skip header. So by default, whenever you are creating a table by inferring schema on certain file, the first column is C1, which is your employee ID. Second column is C2, which is your employee name. Third accordingly as it goes in the CSV file. Okay. So what is the code? So create or replace table staging.raw employee using template. Select array aggregate. Object construct from table infer schema from your stage batch1.cc. Why I have given the file name? Because something has to be there, right? If I want to scan somebody, the file should be there. Okay, so batch1.csv location, file format is CSV format. I'm creating table. Now this table does not have, what is does not have? It does not have a source file. It does not have an ingested add. These two columns, I'm adding it. Everyone knows how to add a new column, alter table command. Let's run this. Okay, let's run this. Let's refresh. You'll see these two columns populating it here. Next, we all know the concept of Snowpipe. What we'll do with the help of Snowpipe, we'll copy into staging raw employee. C1 will be copied from, let me run you this. Let me run this. What was C1? What was C1, guys? C1 was the employee ID. That will go into C1. This is T.$1. T is what? T is from your stage. I'm calling it the CSV format. T.2 is your employee name that is going into C2. C3 is your email. C4 is your phone number. C5 is your address. C6 is your company which you have worked on. C7 is your experience. There was no file name. There was no current timestamp. There was no source file and ingested at in the CSV file which we got ingested. That we can see it here. It is coming beautifully. Which file it is coming from. This is very, very important. You don't know which column is coming from which row is coming from where. That's the reason I have taken this metadata file name and current timestamp. And then I'm running this customer pipe. Done. Once this pipe has been done, now you see. Right? Let's see if the first data has landed in the table or not. Yes, batch 1 has been sent. Now, this is a very beautiful piece of code which I keep telling in almost whenever I do this staging and pipe concept. If you want to see, suppose you went on a holiday, and if you want to see what all tables have been, what all files have been ingested in this particular table, you can always run minus 48 hours, minus 3 days, minus 4 days. You can go back, you can do time travel. This is the beauty of time travel. You can go time travel back and you can see what you have done in this particular employee, which file has been ingested. Oh, boom. 9958 rows file count, and all the files has been passed and loaded into the staging table. Let's refresh. Bingo. 10,000 records. Can I see the records? Of course, I can see the records. Preview data. Right? Correct. Source files all are from batch 1 and ingested at is the first one. Next, let's create the final layer employee table. So create or replace table curated.employee dim, which has all these attributes. Let's run this and create it in the curated schema. Okay. Curated schema is the final schema which we wanted. Refresh it. Curated table employee. Let's create an audit email recipient. And I'm adding the values. One thing is a trick here, guys. You cannot have any email ID here. The email ID which you should pinpoint, you cannot have your father email ID or mother email ID. Why? Because Snowflake will give you an error. Snowflake will only support the email ID with which your Snowflake account is created. So I can only give analytics with anand@gmail.com. I cannot give any other email ID. Try it out. You'll get a syntax error. Try it out. You'll get a runtime error. Try this out. Give any email ID which you don't have it. You will get runtime error, invalid operation. Okay. So always you should give the email ID with which your Snowflake account is registered. Okay. Once we have created this, let me rerun this quickly. Then you have to create email integration. Why email integration, Anand? Because whenever there's a pipeline failure, I want an email to get triggered. So create or replace notification integration, email int, type is email, enabled equals to allowed recipient. You can pass multiple email ID also. I've just given one because this is my Snowflake ID. So just create this, describe the email integration, and you have outbound. Yes. Now, if there's any role which has been created for you, it's the core responsibility of the database administrator, Snowflake administrator, to give you all these access. Do not run this code. These are not required. You already know. Grant usage on schema, grant usage on integration, any role, be it system admin, designer, architect, any role which you see it here, I can give access. So many roles are there, I can give access. This is a pure administrator role. Do not run this code. These are not required. Let's come directly here. Now we'll create in the audit schema, pipeline job logger table, which I have spoken about. Let's create this quickly. Let's create the error log table. Once it is done, now come the magic. Once this is done, let's understand now how stored procedure is working. Let's understand. What does it say? Any change in email, address, company, phone name, email, or experience will generate one expired row is current equals to false. Old record will mark as false. End date is equals to current date. Imagine. End date I'm marking. Now this end date will come from the client requirement. In my previous company, they have told Anand, end date you marked as this. End date you mark like this. They have told me this. You can mark it. Okay. Now end date, whatever they tell you to mark it, you can mark that. Right? And new record is current equals to true. Start date will be keep as current date. End date we won't mark it because we don't know. End date will be null. So what I'm doing it. So I'm in my demo SCD2 curated stored procedure. I'm creating it. Return string, language JavaScript, execute as caller. Now you can, whenever you are creating stored procedure, you can create two. One as a caller and one as an owner. Caller means anyone can see the code, anyone can call it. Owner means only owner can execute this. Okay. Oh my God. Where is the charger? Otherwise things will go wrong. Okay, let me see. My charger gets connected. Yes. Just hold on for a second. Let me check if it is charging or not. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah. Plugged in. Okay. Let me share quickly. Yeah. There you go. Okay. Yeah. So, right. So whenever you are creating stored procedure, it can be in the form of either caller or owner. If it is created in the form of caller, you can see the entire code. If it is not created in the form of caller, if it's created in the form of owner, only owner can see the code, entire code is hidden. What is the beauty of caller and owner? If the moment you create a stored procedure, you can share across the team, anybody call it. Now this stored procedure does not accept any parameter, right? It's a blank one because we are not passing any parameter, right? And also if you want to practice my production level stored procedure, you need to go to the lecture number 32, I believe. Lecture number 32. Entire stored procedure from my previous company also I have given. Lecture 32, where it went? Yeah, here. Entire code I have given to you. Right? So many code I have given to you. So many code. You see this? If you want to create a table, dimension date, which has all the date, key, week, num, just create a stored procedure and call this. Just create a stored procedure and call this. See this, execute as owner. This is the language SQL, right? SQL also we create sometimes the stored procedure, okay? There's no try catch involved. So of course I will create SQL. When to use JavaScript, when to not use it? Whenever there is not involvement of try catch block and there's no exception handling. So here this except. So based on your start date and end date, anytime you can create all this parameter. all these parameters. Just pass the start date and end it. Try this out. All the stored procedure code I have given it to you. Okay. All the stored procedure code I have given to you. Lecture number 32. You can practice on your own. And all are industry specific. That's not the copy paste from ChatGPT, by the way. All are industry level. Okay. Now, what I'm doing it, understand this stored procedure very, very carefully. Here, I'm implementing a robust, deterministic, slowly changing dimension type 2 process from employee dimension table. It will detect and track change in any employee attributes, not only name, email, phone, address, company, any. If there's a change, it will track, right? It will add missing features. I've told you, source file ingested add to staging for provenance. It will add source hash and batch ID to curated table for train tracking. Deduplicate always for the latest data. If Anand has placed 4 times order on Swiggy and Zomato, only the latest one, I will be taking it. Rank is equals to 1. Right? Old logic is current will be false, and new logic and new records current flag will be true. Right? And it will send an email alerts whenever there is a failure. All those things I have given to you. Right? So here I have declared all the variable in the JavaScript. Start time will be my current date, which is the DB, demo SCD, which is the staging schema, staging. This is how you write it in the company, right? Always take a variable and write it, SCD, which is the staging table FQ, demo SCD, to dot staging dot raw employee. Remember, staging table FQ is demo SCD to dot staging dot raw employee. Fully qualified name, target dimension table, demo SCD to dot curated dot employee. So here I'm defining all my what? All my variable name. How do you define a variable in JavaScript? This is how you do it. Okay, here the stored procedure name. Then the job ID, the moment job runs, how do you see the job ID in the pipeline.job log? Job name underscore date underscore with the timestamp and math.random unique job ID per run. In 2000 I'm creating. Number will come, right? You have seen this. Let me show you that one. In the previous quick bite, I was showing you. Yeah. Okay, here the log ID is there. Here it's not here. See the job name. Job name is what? Job name is your stored procedure name hyphen your date with timestamp. That's how I'm generating it. So here job ID I'm generating with job name followed by a date which I'm converting to input output string, and I'm replacing all with dot with hyphen. Right? And I'm typecasting with underscore and math.float function I have used in order to generate unique job. At the start, how many rows have been inserted in the final table? Final table is still null. Nothing is there. If you see the curated table, do we have any record? No, we have not inserted any records at all. Demo SCD2, let's come here. Curated tables. It's blank. There's no table. There's no data here. Right? There's no data here. Correct? So initial inserted row 0. Initial expired row 0. Initial duplicate count 0. Initial total curated. How you do in Python? Give me the sum of all the salary. Int sum equals to 0, right? You take a variable and assign it 0. Average is equals to 0. So this is the initial metric counter. Now comes the main thing. Here I am writing utility function for SQL logging an email. This is the function run SQL, which will have a SQL text and binds. So here binds an array.isArray binds. So it is binding all your element with the help of Snowflake.create statement. Your SQL text and the binds. It will bind both together. Then we will have a write pipeline log a function which will have a job ID, status, file name, and details. Details, how you are getting it? If details double equals to unidentified. If you ran a pipeline and it does not have any information, or it is null, or it is blank, then I'm having it in the details underscore str. Then I'm inserting into audit log table. The first step, always insert into audit log table. So insert into audit log table. See the beauty of variable name. Above only I have defined this variable audit log FQ, audit.pipeline job log. So go by a variable name. Why? Industry level code, production level code I'm teaching you. This is straight away from my company. Production level code. This is how you define it. Rather than typecasting it here every time. No. Take a variable. So later on, if the table gets changed, I have only need to replace the values. Everywhere, wherever this variable gets changed, same I have taught you in Matillion. Always go with the concept of variable. This will really, really help you. Right? So here we are having job ID, job name, file name, status, details, and what time it has run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will take from there. Job ID, job name, file name, status, details, and the current timestamp will have at the runtime. Now, we will writing an error log. If there's any error, right, it will have, this will only write into the error log. Insert into error log frequency, file name, error details created at values. Like you have a syntax error, so syntax error will also go into your error log, and it will also go into your pipeline log also. Once you have done it, then what will happen? Now I'm calling it the email notification. Again, function. That's the beauty of function. See how the code is modular, how the code has been written in such a way, modularity. So notify failure, subject and body, right? So this will list the all your email which you want from your email recipient list. Analytics with Anand@gmail.com, your manager email ID, your senior data email ID, and your architect email ID. And it will get the column value 1, the recipient 1. Okay, and it will trim. Recipient 1 means the first one. Index 0 was what? Index 0 was the admin. Index 0 was basically this one, the role. And index 1 was what? Index 1 was, if you see here, where it went. Come on. Yeah, this is index 0. This is index 1. This is the designation. This is index 1. I need email ID. That's why in the square bracket, I'm typing it 1. How do you take the first element in list? Square bracket 1. Okay, sorry, second element in list, square bracket 1. So that's what I'm doing it here. Okay, so where was I? I was here. Get column value 1 means analytics with Anand as an email. The first value, 0th index is my designation, first index is my column. Now, only send email if recipient list is not empty. If recipient not equals to null, right? If not empty, if the email ID does not exist, why I have to send it? Right? Very simple code. If recipient is not equals to null, if the recipient exists, if the email ID exists, I will call system $send email. This is the function of Snowflake which you will use it. This is the function system $send email plus recipient replace wherever the .gmail.com is there or space is there, that it will replace with dot space mark. And then it will create a statement, SQL test, call SQL, binds. You remember the binding? Everything will be bind together and a notification will be triggered whenever any failure in the pipeline comes. Now comes our main code. First of all, you need to describe a table, staging table, get the description, get the column level information, column value 1, capture the column name. Okay, once you have the column name, I have told you, check data quality checks. If the column length is less than 7, client has told you, Anand, always check whether the column length, whether the schema which you are reading has less than 7, has less than 7, at least 7 column. Employee ID, employee name, email ID, right? So invalid staging schema found only. So if there's any more than 7 column, it will trigger this. But we have implemented already schema evolution, so this part of the code won't get triggered. Okay, it's failed null, and it will write to your pipeline log file. Correct? Select first 7 columns, core business idea. So even if you give more than 7 columns, and if you have not enabled schema evolution, it will just take only the first 7 column. It will slice it down, and you will get the column name safely in case of special character. If there is any special character, quote column is a function, it will pass and you will get it. Now, see how big it is. Now, provenance column. What are these? Ensure required column exists, add if missing. I can also have alter table. I can add column if the source file is getting missed. If you have missed by any chance, source hash and batch ID, you have missed in the curated table. Staging table has source file and ingested at, and curated table has hash ID and batch ID. Now come the most important part, deduplication SQL. First of all, what we'll do, we will create a temporary table. What's the beauty of temporary table? It stays there for 24 hours. For the time duration, you are inside your Snowflake. Okay, 24 hours. So I'm selecting EID, employee name, email, phone number, address, company name, experience, source file, ingested MD5, and I'm calling it as a source hash. And I'm calling it as a source hash. Why I'm taking coalesce function? Because you don't know, employee name may have white characters, space characters. So first you trim it from the both side, then you make it lowercase, and if it is null, then replace it with a blank space. That's the beauty of coalesce or NVL, both you can take it, right? And this is, or I'm typecasting it either this or this or this. Combination. Whenever you are taking MD5 function, you are concatenation. First name, middle name, last name. How I'm concatenation it? With the help of pipe. So employee name and email and phone number, address, company name, I'm concatenating it. I'm concatenating it and then I'm combining all of them and I'm creating one hash key. Understand this like you are creating a milkshake. You pour milk, you pour sugar, you pour banana, you add slices of apple, you add slices of jaggery, you add some protein powder, all are this. Employee and employment. And then what output you get? You get a unique product, which is your milkshake. So this MD5 is nothing but a milk cake, or sorry, milkshake, which we are calling it as a source has a unique key you will get. Why we are creating this? For the comparison of the old records and new records. And where we are getting this from? We are getting this from your staging table raw employee. What is this quote call? What is this quote column? Quote column is nothing but basically what it does. It will scan the first one and it will convert to your EID. Right? It will scan the first column. Basically, I'm doing this like this here. This I'm doing it. So it will scan the first column and it will tell you the EID. Basically, alias, it is creating it. From your source column 0, source column 1, source column 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7 columns. It is scanning. First column I told you was the employee ID. Second was the employee name. Third was the email, phone number, address, company name, and experience. Source file ingested at, look at the beauty, row number over partition by source column 0. What was source column 0, guys? Source column 0 was employee ID, which is our primary key in this case. That's why I have written. Plus order by ingested at descending, nulls last, source file descending, nulls as a rank from staging table frequency where quote column is not an employee ID cannot be null. Rank is equals to 1. Now, if your manager tells, Anand, historical, I need 3 records. Latest 3 record. What you will do? You do rank less than 3. 1, 2, sorry. Less than equal to 3. You will get 3 historical record. This is a homework for you. You can try it. Right? So for 3 historical record, it will mark as false. If I have placed 4 order in a day, all 3 order morning, afternoon, evening will be have what? Is current equals to false. And the night, the order which I'm placing it right now will have is active is equals to true. Okay? Remember this. Right? Remember this. And then I will run this. What will happen? It will create, it will deduplicate any of these new records. Only it will take. Once you have this, how do you calculate a duplicate? Nothing. And then take a count of primary key. If it is more than 1, it's a duplicate. That's what I'm doing it. That's what I am doing it. From your code source 0. What is this source column 0? Source column 0 is nothing but your first column, which was EID. I have written. See this. Clearly I have written. EID. So EID count. If it is more than 1, it is a duplicate. Now you'll say that might have a historical record. I don't care. It's a duplicate. I'm checking deduplication here. Right? I'm checking deduplication here, deduplication count, and I'm going to the next and I'm checking get the column value 1. If it is not there, I'm parsing it as a 0. Okay. Now comes the most important part. Wherever there is a change, suppose I'll give you an example. You have an apple in your house. You wanted to eat, but like I have a cold. So what I did, I took out from a refrigerator and I kept it on the top of that. Right? Unfortunately, I forgot. 2 days it was lying there and it has got rotten. I won't eat it. Of course, it has got rotten. What I did, from Swiggy Instamart, from Zepto or from Blinkit, I ordered one new apple. So what I am doing, I am updating my curated table, new curated table, the final table which I have. And I'm calling it as T. T is the alias. I'm setting is current is equals to false. Is current is equals to false. Old apple. Old apple is gone false. I'm not going to eat that. Old apple is false. What is the end date? Today. Today I'm ordering. So end date is today. End date is today. From temporary table, raw employee, the source one. S, where T.id equals to S.id. ID I'm matching apple. ID I'm matching and T.is current is equals to true. And NVL, first non-null value. Non-null value, hash key should not be the same. If old apple and new apple have the same hash key, that means those are duplicate. That's not a new record. That's the beauty. That's why the lecture says production level code I'm teaching you. Always in production level code, we take hash key using MD5 function. Using MD5 function. Hash key I'm comparing. If the hash key is not same, that means old and new are not same. So old records where source has differs, right? These are just the, I'm updating the old record. So old record will be getting updated with false, okay, wherever the hash key differs. Now, new records come. table is currently empty. What will happen? It will check. First, it will check from the temporary table and it will insert into my final table EID S name. From where? From my source hash key, right? How I'm calculating the batch ID, guys? I've told you. This will come again from the business logic. Source file concatenation with job ID. Source file concatenation with job ID is your batch ID from your temporary table which you have created above. Left join, you are doing with curated table. Now you have a table. First time the data arrived, does this table has anything? No. Entire record got inserted. Next time batch 2 will come. Batch 2 will come. It will check whether the particular person Anand is there in the system or not. Is Anand is there in the system? Right. Already that primary key exists. If it exists and t.isCurrent is equals to 2, is that a true file? If it is yes, then you will join it where t.eid is null, where old ID is null, or NVL t.source has not equals to. So always your old records and new records hash should not be the same. Same hashing value cannot be there. Old current records, new records will have a different hash value. Will have a different hash value. So this I will be inserting it. Then what I will do? I will be capturing the metrics for inserted, expired, and total. I'm getting the count star. Right. I'm getting the count star as INS from curated table and joining with the temporary table on EID where is.current is equals to true and date, start date is equals to current date. Of course. What will be my is active record? Start date equals to current date. So I'm getting this value, inserted rows. How many rows you have inserted? Get column value 1. If the rows is 0, it will concatenate with 0. Then update records. How many records I have updated? Did records any got updated from curated table where end date is equals to current date? End date equals to current date. Why? Because the moment end date is there, old records has been marked as false. That I'm getting. And the total records, how many total records I got it. Once I have this, I'm logging into my audit log and summary table. End time is the current date and duration. I'm calculating the math.run function. End time minus start time. I have started this lecture at 10 o'clock. I'm ending it at suppose 11. 11 minus 10, 1 hour, 60 minutes. 60 multiplied by 60, 3600 seconds divided by 1000, 36. Sorry, divide 3.6. Right? Duration it ran for. Whatever the duration is. Then summary. SCD run, job ID with job ran, how many rows inserted, how many expired, how many collapsed, total curated, duration, entire this thing, I am writing it. Now error handling and cleanup. This is the beauty. If there's any error, pipeline got failed due to XYZ reason, this is what you are getting it in an email. Right? This is what you got in the email, correct? This is what you got in the email. Then you have this. Now entire thing, what you can do, you can create this task, which I've already taught you. You can create a task. Write the cron expression, ask your manager, ask the business consultant when I have to schedule this and run this using cron expression. So it will run every 2 minutes. This I'm not doing it. Why? By default, task is in suspended state. You have to resume. Otherwise, it will keep on running every 2 minutes. Get this cron expression from your client and you can see. You don't need to run this stored procedure automatically. Now I'll call this data is not there employee level. You see how the data gets inserted. I have to run first stored procedure, right? Do not run it. Let's create this. Done. There should not be any error. Okay. Once this is done, let me call directly. Oh, boom. Let's check see. How many records got inserted, guys? 9958. 9958. There was 10,000 records. That means some duplicate is there in the source. There was 10,000 records. Inserted is 9958. Expired is 0. Duplicate collapse was 0. Total curated is 9958. Duration is 0. That means no duplicate. 10,000 on average I was telling. So total records were 9958. First batch does not have duplicates. Curated table was empty. Redemption. Now records has been loaded. Boom. In the curated layer, you see all the records are there. All the records are there. Right? All the records are there. Let's check our audit table. 2 rows. Oh, wow. Started at the first time I have created a stored procedure. It is finding it. Second, see the job ID. I told you the job name hyphen the date. That's why it has come like that. Right? Success. The stored procedure run correctly. Automatically, this will get logged in. Whenever your task will schedule the stored procedure, this will keep on running. Let's see the magic. Let's load batch 2. Let's load batch 2. Okay. Let's load batch 2 data. What is there in batch 2? Address has been changed. Okay. Address has been changed. So there will be duplicates. By the way, how do you check a duplicates in your employee team in the final table? Does it have duplicate or not? Let's run one code. Select from. Let the recording get stopped. Select EID, comma, count star. How do you calculate duplicate, guys? Tell me. Group by 1. Having count star. Hot favorite interview question greater than 1. Employee ID should be 1. That's it. Let's see. Why it is so slow? Why it is running so slow? Boom! Always your final table, whichever clients tell you, should not have duplicates. Nobody will tell you. Whenever you are creating a final table, I'm telling you, should not have any duplicates at all. No duplicate. I'm happy. I can relax. I can go and sleep. Next, let's load the batch 2. Now the real magic will happen. Let's load the batch 2. Automatic Snowpipe is there. I don't have to worry at all. Snowpipe will ingest auto ingest equal to 2 into the raw employee, and stored procedure I will schedule with the help of task. Nothing you have to do. Everything will be automated. Okay. Everything will be automated. Already it is automated. You don't have to do. Just I'm calling stored procedure to show it to you. Let's see. I'll just check with the help of alter pipe. So where is the raw? Staging table, raw employee. Rows has been updated. It will take some time. Let's see. Let's run alter pipe refresh and see. Have patience. Whenever you're dealing with 1 million, 2 million records, no, it will take some time. Okay, so have patience. Don't be in a hurry. Auto ingest equals to true is there. That will come. Let's see. Gone. So let's wait. So batch 2 has how many records? Batch 2 has 5,000 records. Let's see. So many duplicate I have given. And you won't get these kind of data sets also because you don't know how to generate that also. 5,000 got loaded. 15,000. Boom. That's the beauty of Snowpipe. Okay. Does this has duplicate? Does this have duplicate? What do you think? Does this has duplicate? What do you think? Let's check quickly. Let's check quickly whether the raw has duplicate or not. We'll see the magic. Sorry, it's C1, no? C1. Oh my God. 3.9K. 3928. 66 records are coming. Okay, we'll check it later. First, let's call our stored procedure and see what it does. Remember, in the source, how many are there? 15,000 records. But in the final layer, 10,000, we got 10,000. Right? So ideally, this 5,000 gets loaded. It won't get loaded. You see how many records will get loaded if I call this. Just wait and watch. Only 605 records got loaded. That's the beauty of your stored procedure. Deduplication. Only 605 records. Only 605 records got loaded. 10.6K. Only 605 records got loaded. Will this have duplicate? Does this have duplicate? No. No. Then what are these two coming? What are these two coming? One Anand for the historical, one Anand for the active. Because Anand, you have taken rank is equals to 1. That's why for historical you are having one. How you can check it? Now let's do the testing. Now let's do the testing. Now let's do the testing. Right? Now let's do the testing. So these are all 6 in the raw. We see this. In the raw we saw already. Right? In the curated final layer, these are the 2 records. So if I fix it, first let's calculate the total in the source layer, one by one. How many are in the source? 10,563. Is there any historical record? Is current equals to false means what? These are all old records. How many old records you have? 605. Out of 5,000, only 605 are old records. What are true? These are all active records. Active records. These are all active records. Now, tell me one thing. I want to know which are those records for which address has been changed. For which address has been changed. Right? So in the raw employee, I will go and I will write count distinct files. You see this. So many ID, you see different address. So many ID, you see different address. That's the beauty. Okay. So many address. 5 times address has been changed. But did we take 5 records? No. We only took 1 records. We only took 1 records. E224062, you see. E224062, right? Multiple email address. In our final table, raw employee, do we have any multiple email address? No. Do we have multiple companies? Do we have multiple companies? No. Now, for this, shall we verify how many times address has been changed? Let's see. Let's see for this guy what has happened. Then you will understand properly. Just merely ingestion won't help. You need to understand. See this? You see this? So from batch 1, Betty share 1 record. And out of this, only 1 record come. Which is the latest one? 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 This is the latest one. 717. Now, if you run, you will get only 2 records. One Betty Shire and another one is Betty Shire 717. See this final curated layer? I'm showcasing it to you. That's why historical you are getting only 1. If the client says keep 2, you keep it 2. All the test cases also have given it to you so that you don't have to worry at all. Up only it was there, no? E224062. See the magic. 2 records you'll get in the final layer. Yes. And these are not 2 duplicates. When do you say duplicate? When entire values are same. You see this? Betty Shire, I told you Betty Shire 717. Betty Shire is coming from the first file. 4/11/2015. Is current? False. No, these are old records. Batch 1. Batch 1 now become old records. Batch 2 now become new records. So batch new is 2. This is the updated address. And what is the end date? I told you end date will be null because this address has not been changed. And what is the end date for batch 1? Today's date. Today's date. This is how exactly same I have implemented in ReExcel, Coports, Unilever, even at Tiger. Everywhere. This is the process which you follow. Production level code I have taught you. It's not a chat GPT copy paste code. Same way you do it everywhere. And how I'm creating a source key? Source hash, MD5 function, combination of all this. You can create MD5 function. Batch ID I have told you. File name followed by pipe followed by the job name. You have the batch ID. So this is coming from batch 2. The latest, this is coming from batch 1. This is how you do it. Right? This is how you do it. So in the source, you have 6 duplicates. See this? 6 duplicate. There's no address change. Batch 2 and batch 1. Right? So if I write here, select distinct star, what will happen? You'll get just records for all those things, whichever the address has been changed. How many times address has changed? 5 times. This is from the batch 1. Ignore this. So one record from batch 1, and these are the other 2. Right? These are the other 2. If you write distinct star, you will get only 2 records because those were duplicate. Getting my point? For which all ID companies has been changed? I can see this. 4. There's no change in company. Batch 1 it is coming. Right? How many times address has been changed? Row number over partition by C1 row number. See this. Correct? Batch 1 is this, and the latest one, whichever is rank 1, we are choosing this. So Cruise Haven, apartment 935, and Cruise Haven only will come. So if I write this, so if I take this, if I update here, only, remember 935 will come, apartment. That's what? That's the current flag, and it's a old flag. Exactly any time I have given, client has given me 7 days in order to do this. I finish it in 2 days. Same thing you will get in every company while working as a data engineer in Snowflake. Implement SCD Type 2. This is how you're going to do it. Quality checks also I've added. How many staging records were there and how many curated one are there? Staging was 15,000 with all of duplicates, but the final layer, final table should never have duplicate. Let's ingest the third file quickly and see the magic again. What is the third file, by the way? What is the third file, by the way? Companies has been changed. Third file, I have changed the company and Gmail ID. Okay. Very beautiful example. Very beautiful example. Lovely example. It has taken me 9 hours in order to do this and come live in front of you. I'm not joking. 12 midnight I started till 9 a.m. morning I have completed. Lot of error, lot of issues. Okay. Lot of issues were there. So 9-hour work I'm teaching you in just 1.5 hours. Okay. So thank me later. Implement this. This will really help you. Any interview on data engineer cannot surpass without even this question. How do you implement SCD2 in Snowflake? Hot favorite question. Anytime if you are getting interviewed at Tiger, this question will be there. This question will be there. Okay, let me download this. This is done. So quickly I'll download, upload, add files, batch 3, upload. Now total records will be 20,000. First batch was 10,000, batch 2 was 5,000, batch 3 was 5,000. So total 20,000 records. Let's again go back. Let's again go back and see. Data is there in the pipe. Yes, batch 3 has gone. Let's check whether the records has been updated. Not yet. Let's wait for some time. 1 or 2 minutes. And then it should come. Have some patience. Whenever you're dealing with 1 million or 10 million records, sometimes 10-15 minutes also it takes. There's a latency. Okay. So pipe has a latency issue. So you need a patience here. Yeah, now it has been processed. Boom, 20,000. Okay. Let's call the stored procedure. Let's call the stored procedure. Let's see this time how many records get ingested and how many duplicates are there. Every time it will talk about how many rows inserted, how many duplicates. See here. How many are there? How many duplicates? 6346. 63. You will say, Anand, you have inserted 5,000 records. How come 6,000 duplicates got? Because batch 2 also had 600 records. So total 6346. Total curated is 11,695 out of 20,000 records. In the final table, only 11,000 records exist because we don't need the past historical data. If the customer has placed 5 times order, client has told me, Anand, keep only 1 record of that particular day. So in history, we'll have only 1 record. How I am tackling that? With the help of rank is equals to 1. If your client says, I need to keep 3 or 4 records, rank less than equals to 3. Okay. Let's check the curated. Let's check the pipeline job log. 6 rows. See this? Right? Error log. Will there no error log because there's no error. Okay. Let's check the curated one. 10. Let me refresh. 11.7K. Boom. Let's check. How many duplicates? Does it have duplicates? Only 2 should come. Only 2 should come. Every record will be 2. Immediately you can guess it. Immediately you can guess it. Why 2? Because 1 for historical, 1 for active. And if the client says you have to take history 3 records, then it will come 4. Those are not duplicates. Right? Let's check in the source how many duplicates are there. My God. 6.3Ks are duplicate. 6.3K are duplicate. 6346. That's what we have dropped, right? In the stored procedure, if you see, that's what it's talk about. That's what it has said. Come on. That's what it has said. If I see the preview data, actually this won't talk here. It details if I go here. Now let's check. Now comes the magic. Let's evaluate. Total record 11,695, right? 11,695. How many are historical records out of 11,695? 1737. 1737. This much history. Then how much is the active record? 11,695 minus this. Your total should tally. This is how you do data quality checks. This is how you should do data quality checks. 9958. 9958 are active records. That means batch 3 has all historical. Multiple address. How many are multiple address? This many. Multiple email address. Do we have multiple email address? This time you will get it. Yes. This is coming from where? This is coming from batch 3. This is coming from batch 3. Look at the email address. How many times it has been changed? You're seeing? Right? How many times it has been changed? Companies has been changed. Let's see. I'm not explaining you the code because you guys are good with SQL. How many times companies has been changed? Oh my God. Brady LCC Private Limited to Brady LCC Private Limited 80. 29 has become 80. Right? Let's check for this employee. This address has been changed. Address part we have seen. Right? Address has been changed. So we can see, let's talk about C3. C3. Let's see. Oh, C3 was what? Email ID. Same email ID only, right? So this person has address changed. Okay. Let's check the count now. Staging has 19,958. Your final table should contain no duplicates. Does we have any email address which is missing or null? No. There's no missing email ID. Let's check whether the valid emails are there or not. Regex expression, no. All are valid. All are valid. Staging, how many? See this. These are all duplicates records. These are all duplicates. Is one email assigned to many IDs? This may happen. One email ID has been mapped with multiple. Oh, Garcia yahoo.com has been mapped with 3-person email ID. Okay. All this multiple address. Multiple address. See this multiple address that we have seen already. Right. What about this? Curated SCD variants. Anything is there? Nothing is left here. What about this? Latest start date should be is current. Check whether latest start date should be current or not. Yes. EID start date is current false. Right, this we have to change. Ensure the row with max start date per ID is marked current. Okay, so these all things you can check it. Source hash change detection validation. You should not have any MD5 function as null. You cannot have source hash keys as null. MD5 should not give you null. If it is giving, something is wrong. Right? Wherever the source hash differs, the event has changed. Wherever the source hash differs, the event has changed. The event has changed. Is there any null NVL? I'm checking that. For EID with change event, check source hash differs. Okay. Check whether any source hash is differing or not. Nothing, then check company for active employee. How many employees are different company? These are the different thing which you can do. Checking part, which I have already, for the testing purpose, you can do it. For the testing purpose, check if multiple employees at same company share same email ID. No. Right? So these are the different things which you can do. Now let me tell you the failure one. Last part which we have left. For failure one, what I'll do, guys, I will change one of the table name. I will change one of the table name. Okay. I will change one of the table name. Then you will understand properly. Let me do that for you. Or what I'll do, in the stored procedure only, I'll make some call. I'll do some mistake, okay? So that you get to know what exactly I'm doing. Not this one. Let me do something here. Where is that code where I've written? What I'll do, say for example, insert into, where is insert into command? Yeah. Wait, let me do one thing here. Alter table. Table name is, or not alter table. I'll do one thing. Wait. Yeah, I'll change the table name. Where is that piece of code which I want? Okay. Leave it. What I'll do, let me do one thing. Let me change one piece of code here. Say, for example, this. Okay, 244. Suppose I did a mistake. Just I wanted to show you error. Right? Now what I'll do, I'll go on the top. I will create this procedure. And when I call it, you see how error you will get. You'll get an error. Ah, see this? And immediately a mail will be triggered. I got an email. Boom. Immediately you'll get an email. Bingo. That's how things works. Anytime your pipeline gets failed, you will get an error. And error position will be notified. Okay. An error position will be notified. Where did I make the changes now? I myself will forgot. That's it. Okay. So this is how you do SCD type 2. Okay. This is how SCD type 2. Next task for you is, already I have given here. There's a program called Quick Byte. I want you to try this. You Quick Byte. So what you will do, Quick Byte is like a Swiggy Zomato. You will create this customer. Let me show you. I won't run it for you. I'm leaving it to you. You will create a demo bucket. This is a task for you all. You'll create a bucket called Quick Byte. You'll create a bucket called Quick Byte Lake. Inside that, what you will do, you will create one folder, prod raw staging. So go to the raw layer and create all this folder. Create all this folder, coupon, customer, driver, menu items, order restaurant, and place your code over there. Place your code. Where you'll get this file? This file is already I have given. This file already I have given. Same link here. quickbyte.csv.zip. Download this. This has a zip file. Where is the code for Quick Byte? Where is the code for Quick Byte? SCD Type2. Here's the code for Quick Byte. Here is the code for Quick Byte. Okay, everything I have written here. Right? No, not this one. Sorry, my bad. Not this one, not this one. Not this one, my bad. Not this one. Quick Byte, Quick Byte. This is the folder structure also I've given. This is the policy. Where's the Quick Byte CSV? I have not given you the CF file. 1 second. Wait, I think I forgot to add that code. 1 second. I'll share that with you. Here it is. This is the one for Quick Byte. Let me Control Alt, Control C. Quickly I'll add. quickbyte.sql. Everything is here, okay? Even the stored procedure I have written. Even the stored procedure I have written for you. Even the stored procedure I have written for you. quickbyte.sql. So you can implement. Folder structure also I've given it to you. Right? Image is there. So please follow this. Inside the raw layer. And run. Where is the stored procedure here? If you go inside the SQL, you will find all the table written and all the merge command is written. You see, it's written. Right? Audit pipeline, merge into curated.customer. Why I'm writing merge command? Because when any time the new records comes, sometimes we also use merge. Sometimes we go with the temporary table concept. The second one which I have talked about was the using with the help of temporary table. Here what I'm doing, merge into curated.customer table. Right? Using select distinct raw customer source. So raw file will be there. I'm merging into curated. Initially curated will be empty. So it will check whether the customer ID and source customer ID exist. If it does not exist, what it will do? What it will do when not matched? There is no matching. There's no matching. Prior to that, customer ID was not existing. Initially, the final table will be empty. So it will come here. When not match, it will insert directly everything, all the values from the source. Once it has been ingested, second time batch comes. Second time if batch comes, it checks. Oh, customer ID is matching. Of course. When matched, and if the customer ID is matching, target name and source name. What is source and target? Source is your raw and target is your curated. If source name and target name is not same, phone number and phone number is not same, email or email is not same, city or city is not same, target and target is not same, sign up date and sign up is not same. Right? But when both are not same, when keys are matching, then you are updating name to source name. Whatever the name was there before, that is kept. But if it is a match, all of them are not matching, then you will update the set. Right? But when it is matched, then what you will do, you will select all this customer from the raw customer. This is how your merge statement work. Run this, you will understand it clearly. Merge driver, merge menu items, merge coupons, everything. I'll run it for you. I have 5-10 more minutes. I'll run it for you. Quickly, I'll do this for you also, so that you guys are aligned. Both project I'm doing in this demo. Okay, both project I'm doing this in demo. So let me run quickly. Quick Byte is already there. Okay. Let me check the raw, stage layer, table, raw coupons already are there. Yeah. So I can directly go and call the stored procedure. I can directly go and call the stored procedure. All the code I have given to you. all the transformation, everything is here. Just go and see what Anand is doing here. Simple steps only. Again, file name and current timestamp and mapping it from here. Alter pipe refresh. If I run this, yeah, let's see. Yeah, 10,000 records I have ingested. Okay. 10,000 records I have ingested. If I make it minus 48, when did I run this? 2 days back. Not even 2 days back. Oh, not even 2 days, 72 hours. Maybe 96. Let me check. When did I run this? Long back, I think. Oh, nothing is there. Okay, no worries. Come down, let's check. Yeah, these are the count of the table. Raw customer 10,000, restaurant 500, driver 500, menu items 2,000. All the code I have given to you. Coupons 500, orders 11,000, order items 17,337. Where is the code for this? Code I have given. Where is the data for this? Quick byte data, folder structure. Quick byte CSV I have given to you. I've given to you. Then once this is done, what I'll do, yeah, let me call the stored procedure directly. Okay. Let me call the stored procedure. And let's see what happens. All the curated table I have created here. If you see here, all the curated tables are here. Coupons, yeah. Rows to process 11,000, status success. And again, I have audit pipeline. I can go here, pipeline job log, and I can see the data when the pipeline ran. Just now I ran it, right? Process raw done and related table. Just run this and understand each and every code, right? So you have the curated order items also. Basically, we are doing merge. 17.3K you got. Okay. 17.3K you got it. Very simple code, merge. Once you have data in the final table, you can create a final curated view for daily KPI. Curated table will always be null because this is the final table. So with the help of stored procedure, I am loading it. You see this? Merge into curated order items. All I'm selecting, left join I'm doing. When not match, then insert. That means when the data is not there, right? When you don't have something in your house, potato got over and you want to bring it, then you insert the value. From where? Source. Source is your market. Source is your market. And then you are getting it. This is how merge statement works. So whenever you are doing type 2, either you can go with the concept of the second one, temporary table, or the merge one, right? Second one is most widely used, rank concept. Okay, so when there's a match, then update set. When not match, then insert the values. When there's no match, when the data is not there, simply insert. When there's a match, then you update the customer key with the source customer key, what was there in the original, if any values got changed. Merge statement is very, very important. Only the original one you call it as a source, and the target one is the one which you have it in the final layer. This is all about SCD Type 2. I am done. Beyond this, you don't have to do anything in company. This is the maximum level, right? Which you will be working as a data engineering completely in Snowflake. So this was the production level code, which I wanted to explain you. Hope you have liked it. Okay. And if you want to join my new batch, this is starting coming from Saturday, Sunday onwards. Do reach out to me. Do subscribe to this channel. Let others know. Learn Snowflake in the right way. Crack certification. Work in the Snowflake era, because every company in my current project, we are migrating from SAP HANA to Snowflake. Everything is becoming outdated these days. Entire world is shifting to Snowflake. Okay. That's all from my side. Bye-bye. Take care. Happy learning. And do subscribe to this channel. Chalo. We'll wrap it up. And